Hello, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead, in about 3 minutes, start my commentary about dealing with people that are unable to. So I'm gonna put myself on mute, and then I'm gonna tap back on. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Please hit the like button. Ring that doorbell. It's one of my favorite songs. As the title is That's What the Pain Taught Me. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to start talking. Pain taught me everybody's smiling at me. Everybody clapping, they proud to see me win. Pain taught me some doors gotta close in my face, so better things can finally let me in. Pain taught me stop begging folks to understand me. Everybody can't go with God taking me. Pain taught me silence got more power than proof. And peace mean more than being seen. I used to take things personal. Now I just let it be. 'Cause what was meant to break me down ended up teaching me. That's what the pain taught me. How to stand when it gets hard, how to smile through the tears. Good morning. Protect my heart. That's what the pain taught me. How to trust the higher plan, how to lose the lie, and still know who I am. That's what the pain taught me. Praise the way I speak. I may have cried through the lesson, but the lesson strengthened me. Pain taught me some people love to owe you better. The version they give you, the one that stays small. Pain taught me healing make folks uncomfortable, especially when they thought you fall. Pain taught me how to sit with my own feelings without running every time life got real. Pain taught me God to strip away distractions just to show you who's really meant to heal. Now I don't chase what don't choose me. I don't force what don't fit. 'Cause every loss that hurt my heart taught me how not to quit. That's what the pain taught me. How to stand when it get hard. How to smile through the protect my heart. That's what the pain taught me. I trust the higher plan. I lose a lot of people and still know who I am. Thank you, God. That's what the pain taught me. It changed the way I see. I may have cried through the lessons, but the lessons strengthened me. You hear that? It taught me boundaries. It taught me grace. It taught me healing takes its place. It taught me strength I didn't know until the storm made me grow. That's what the pain taught me, yeah. And now I see. Good morning, Ryder. Yeah. You hear that? It built a better me. A better me. What a way to wake up this morning with actually feeling like I have forgiven myself. That was one of the lessons this week on the prayer line. And the hardest thing that we have to do will be beneficial to us in the long run. And I'm talking about having an unforgiving heart. It doesn't bring you nowhere. It does not give you growth. If anything, when you holding on to this unforgiveness, you create a bigger matter in your life. It could create anxiety. It could create more hate. It could just mess with your mental overall on how you see things. So I kind of want to touch on what are the characteristics of a person that displays um, unforgiveness. I've been doing a little research. For one, what inspired me to have this discussion is that I am in a sector where there's a lot of things going on. Hold on. And I try not to bring my emotions into it because, for one, this is the internet. And for two, it's just not good. It's just not good to feel that. You know what I'm saying? Or to even be around it. Um, when God starts changing, when God starts ordering your step, the things that you used to do become used to. The things that you used to do becomes the things that you used to do or you used to hold on to. And um, first and foremost, I'm not going to talk about anything that I am not going through or have not been through. Um, I believe that we are free by the words of our testimony. I believe that when when you're walking in your light, in your calling, um, part of the characteristic is being bold enough to say, I used to be this person. So, although the topic has been inspired by the things that I have been exposed to in the Latrice Allen sector, it is also helping me to search within myself on the things that I might be still be holding on to. I don't know if I sounded right, but you get what I'm saying. But I've been seeing a lot, and I try not to judge because, for one, I'm not too far removed,
And for two, I don't have a heaven and hell to send anyone. If anything, I'm fighting for my own life. And what I've learned that to take the focus out, take the focus away from what's happened to me, and so that I can start healing, in which I am in the midst of my healing journey. So that's one of many reasons why I decided to create this channel to tell my testimony, to come out here boldly, to have deep discussions like this because um, I don't know about y'all. I'm a believer, and I believe that Jesus Christ is coming again to come and get me and so many of my brothers and sisters. So, this present time, I'm fighting for my life, um, pretty much. Um, and I used to hold unforgiveness. I didn't realize how much I was holding on to, that it was blocking my own blessings, blocking me from being who I'm becoming today. You know, what you see today is the submission part. The I'm ti the part the time. Okay, wait a minute, I'm getting it all wrong. I finally got to a place in my life where I just fully surrender with everything on me, with the smoking. Hey, I'm all about keeping it real. And if you want to support me, I'm raw like that. I talk about Maritsa and the things that I do see that I can relate to. Um, I come with things, and we all do. We all come. Mine may be in the form of smoking. Yours may be in the form of fornicating. Others may be in petty theft, murder. In God's eyes, all sin is a sin is a sin, and in His eyes, it is equal. So that's why I'm able to come out to say, okay, well, they ain't no better than me. They stole pennies, and I'm holding unforgiveness. It weighs the same way in God's eyes. He's coming for a church with not a spot nor a wrinkle, and people think um, that you have to be clean, not smoking, being a stand-up guy. Good deeds are good. Yes, it comes with love, with some of it. And I just feel totally different today. That I'm able to, you know, identify the things that I need to work on. And sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, the things that I watch um, has me evaluating Maritza on, are you these people, or do you carry this, or do you support this? Because I'm at the point I'm not supporting things that does not line up with God. I get it. We all fall short, but it's a certain point where it has to be cut. And when it comes toxic and demonic, I cut myself off all the way because I am easily triggered. I am not too far removed. And just because I have forgiven somebody yesterday, um, by exposed being around people like that, would trigger me and remind me of the hurt that they have caused me. And I work so hard to forgive. I work so hard. But first of all, I had to forgive myself for allowing certain things. So I get it. It hurts. It hurts when people offend us. It hurts when people go all out um, to make us look like a fool in the natural life and even on this internet. I get it. I get it. But if you know God like I know God, we have to work on it. We have to work on it extra hard because the enemy will tell you you in your right for feeling this way because of the offense. But if God says he will forgive us 7,000, 7,000, whatever the number is, and that means continuous, he's a forgiving God. Why we are not able to forgive others when they offend us. And what I got from it is because I had to go back. I had to go back to the root of my hurt, on why I took things the way I did in the past, and reacted in a negative light. I'm just being brutally honest, if I may. But yeah, so I have been watching and watching, and it has been making me a little angry because I just don't get it. I'm like, we all know who God is. I'm pretty sure the majority of us was led to Christ, or what that is saved, and know who God is, but there are some imperfections that are not godly. There are some characteristics that are not godly, because when it comes to hurt, there's a lesson behind that. And at the end of the day, when God asks us, what did you do with that hurt? And you can tell them, like, I cussed them out, I done talked about them, I done spreaded rumors. I'm talking about myself right now. I done did the most because of hurt. And I really didn't have to. How you doing, Romeo? I really didn't have to do it. I caused a lot of hurt because a sister was hurt, and I was hurting really bad, and no one couldn't see it. So when people would do things with me, I go to hell with it. I used to go to hell with it. Now I go to God. When something is troubling me and it hurts me, I give it to God because I can't do it. Nor will I continue to hold bitterness or unforgiveness, because at the end of the day, when they offend you, that's their shit. Oh, excuse me. That is their mess that they're dealing with, just like with me. So that's where not me justifying people's actions, but just to make it relatable to me, so that I can understand why it is so hard for people to forgive. Hold on. Um, it is crucial for us to get our homes in order, and it ain't trying to scare nobody or trying to force God on anybody, because if God has it where uh, that people that come to Him is gonna come to Him because they want to, not because somebody forced them to do it, or anything else. It is optional. I cannot force God on you, just like nobody couldn't force them on me. It's a timing for everybody. I'm just praying that if you're not in God's will, that you at least try to start changing, being more thankful, praying a lot. Um, and there's not no set way of praying. Talk to Him just like I'm talking to you. This is what I had to learn to make me feel like I am part of the numbers. And even now that I am attending church and I'm a part of it, and I'm just being a servant. I'm doing God's will. So it has been bringing out so many things that I didn't know I was carrying. Like, for instance, the unforgiveness of people disrespecting me. I had still carried that up to this day, and I had to really sit down with myself and say, Maritsa, what are you doing? You can't be going to church and still carrying things. And it's not about the church. Because when I go in there, it's like I'm going to God's house. I am the church. We are the church. But like how my sister in Christ says, the church is a hospital where we all meet up to get fixed, right? So did some research on a couple of things. I'm going to read the unforgiveness Bible verse. Let me see. Read all. These are the scriptures that where you can find about unforgiveness. Okay. The Bible teaches that unforgiveness is a serious matter, warning that if we do not forgive others, God will not forgive our sins. So that's something to think about. Now, I just admitted all the stuff that I'm doing, that I have done. If I can't forgive my sister for the words she uses on me, how do I expect God to forgive me for smoking? And I know I'm supposed to turn from it, but how when I do stop, I still got to ask for forgiveness for the things that I've done knowingly. So this is why it's so important to educate. Why it's so important for us to forgive, because if we don't forgive others, God is not going to forgive us, bottom line. And I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. The truth shall set you free, right? So in Matthew 6:14-15, it says, "For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others, neither will the Father forgive your trespasses." I can't even say it. Emphasizes the direct link between forgiving others and receiving God's forgiveness. So Matthew 6:14-15, that's the line that tells you that. Also, in Mark 11:25, it states, "And when you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who in heaven," wait, let me start that over. "And when you stand and praying, forgive if if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you for your trespasses." Highlights the importance of forgiveness in prayer. So that's a whole lot in a nutshell. Um, Ephesians 4:32, it says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ God forgave you." Encourages believers to mirror God's mercy in their relationships. So, um, so I'm glad it says that, because just this past week, I have been dealing with some emotional things, just thinking about the things that I have done that to my friends, the one that has stand in the paint, even in my ugliness, they still here. They're still here to encourage me. They're still here to love me. They love me. They love me. They understand. So the part that I was having to struggle with is forgiving myself. So hearing that, uh, hearing that this week on the prayer line, it touched me. Where I had to think about it, I'm like, dang, God has just been showing out and just like, look, this is the reason. You have to forgive yourself. It's okay. It's okay to feel bad of the things that you put out there, but don't hold yourself to the cross. Give yourself some grace, because I have forgiven you. This is what God is telling me. So now I need you to forgive yourself, because these people that you had caused any hurt has already forgiven you. They still there. And even the ones that aren't there, the ones that are dropping on the wayside, I'm not even I'm not even mad. I'm kind of grateful that they did, because Maritsa don't know how to walk away. Not yet. I know how to walk away just a little bit, but when I have years invested, it's very hard for me to remove, because of the things that is constantly in my mental, of the hurt that I have caused. So a part of me feels like, let me just stay in there. I deserve everything that's coming to me. Maybe I deserve this karma, and I really don't, because my actions just didn't come because I was a evil person. It came from a hurt place because I was hurt and I didn't know how to take constructive criticism. I would take offense of everything, the littlest thing, and I've held grudges for years. And it's not until I removed myself from my toxic place where I was living to where I'm living now that I'm able to see these things for myself so that I can change it. So Colossians 3:13 it says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you." Stresses ongoing forgiveness as part of the Christian conduct. So, as a person that is a believer of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, will display um, display patience. And if someone has offended you, then you could, if you know someone offended you, there's ways of how you approach it. Have a discussion. If the person even is even worth to have a discussion. Um, you feel what I'm saying? Like some people you can't talk to, and that's just a given. And there are some that you can, but it does not restrict us from having an adult conversation and making it plain so that it could be off you. Um, Luke 6:37 states, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." Links forgiveness with mercy and judgment. That was the link, what they say. There's a link there that goes deep into it. Matthew 18:21-35, the parable of the unforgiven servant illustrates that the consequences of refusing to forgive others after receiving God's forgiveness, showing that unforgiveness leads to um, spiritual and rational harm. Relational harm. Yes, something like that. The spiritual insight. It says unforgiveness is described as a root of bitterness, resentment, and spiritual blocker. You hear that, right? It's a spiritual blocker. The Bible teaches that holding grudges can hinder prayer, disrupt peace, and prevent believers from experiencing the fullness of God's grace. Jesus' example. This is Jesus' example. Forgiving even those who crucified him. He has forgiven people that crucified him, that has killed him. Sets the ultimate standard for believers to follow. So if Jesus can forgive the people that crucified him, that took him out, even though Jesus knew, the plan that God had and the reasoning. Why we can't display that to others. It does not mean that you have to break bread. It does not mean that the relationship is going to be the same. It does not mean that you gotta, hey, how you doing? God understands. Some people you cannot be rational with. You can't. Some people are head stubborn, whatever. I don't even know if that makes sense. They're just so stubborn in the head that they refuse to listen. But I'm here to tell you that it is freedom and forgiveness. I promise you. I promise you, and I'm still working on the forgiveness. I still have a couple of people that I have to pray for and pray for me to remove these things from me because I am not there anymore. They cannot dictate where I'm going, how fast I'm going, and how much I'm going to grow. Only God can determine that. So you understand what I'm saying? So I'm able to get past all that mess, you know? Um, Let me read this other part. Practical application. Forgive me. Okay, say practical application. This is something that we can use when we find ourselves of constantly harping on offense, because that's what it is. Forgive others as, well, it doesn't say that. Forgive others as God has forgiven you, even repeatedly. So that means continuously. And it's hard. It's severely hard to forgive someone that is consistent on hurting you. But if God can forgive us for the things that we may do that's not of His pleasing, then we can do it too. It may not be realistic to us, but if we could display this not only to humans, so that they can see what they can do with their offense, but also display that you're listening to what God is trying to teach you. You know what I'm saying? So it is freedom and forgiveness. Okay, I'm going to go into the characteristic of a person who cannot forgive. A person who struggles to forgive often exhibits a combination of emotional, conjunctive, and behavioral traits that keep resentment alive. Okay, just to let you know, we as human beings have the gift of having emotions, whether it be sad, happy, but this just being angry, just being angry and toxic when it comes to refusing to forgive for a grudge. Um, the patterns can be both self-defeated and harmful to relationships. So, hey, Beastie. Um, so when we hold on to these grudges, it's not gonna do nothing. It's gonna hurt us more than anything. Um, now, Beastie, I'm talking about the characteristics of. You read my title, right? It's about unforgiveness. Bestie, I'm sorry. I'm from New York. They call it bestie in the South, in North Carolina. Um, when I say beastie, I meant to say bestie. I'm sorry. Forgive me, brother. But anyway, we talk about unforgiveness and what to look out for. Persistent grudges and rumination. They often replay the offense, repeatedly holding on to the crime in their mind long after it's over. This rumination can foster a sense of moral superiority, and make it harder to let go. And that is true. The more I carried it, it just didn't do nothing. I just would be in here feeling like the biggest criminal, like feeling like I'm just a nuisance on earth, and which caused me to feel like I needed to commit suicide, and unalive myself. I didn't mean to say suicide, forgive me. I said it again. I wanted to unalive myself because I felt unworthy to be around. And the more I carried it, the more it became. It became real heavy and added stuff on there. Number two, and this is the characteristics of people that can't forgive: blame shifting and victim mentality. We all see it in the sector, or the sector that you're in. They tend to externalize problems, blaming others for their own emotions or difficulties. This lack of self reflection can make them uncompromised in their stance. So that's what I was saying when I started to realize that I was holding on to things. I had to look at myself and like, Maritsa, what are you really doing? What are you really holding on to? Because the conversation starts with you. If you can't have a conversation with yourself and not on no great stuff, but on something like, what are you doing? Because you got to check yourself. Um, then it becomes a problem because then you're playing victim. Over analyzing of a slight or betrayal. They magnify small incidents into major offense, questioning motives and searching for hidden meanings. This overanalysis is linked to trust issues and deep seated insecurity. Avoidance of the offender. Some choose to distance themselves entirely from those who wrong them, hoping to erase the pain. While they may feel like peace, it can lead to isolation and missed opportunities for resolution. Yes, I have a bad habit of doing that. I'll be honest, and and it's not because I don't want to face it. It's just I rather, if you feel like this about me, then I just rather just be out of sight, out of mind. And it has been causing isolation because um I don't want to deal with the negative rah-rah. That's not me anymore. And I think people tend to forget that they, even though they grow, I grew too. I grew too. I grew mentally, spiritually. I grew on how I view things. I don't take things to heart, even if it could have caused an offense. The way a person, I just don't. I ain't got time for it. I do not have time for none of that. Um, Bestie, you could even ask Diva. I'm constantly encouraging her, even vice versa, because she does it for me too. Um, I'm always trying to encourage to forgive because I know what it does. It releases a lot off of us. It doesn't keep us trapped. It's like the biggest blessing blocker that you can even do. You want to block your blessings? Hold a grudge. Hold a grudge. And you see shit not going your way. Hold a grudge for so long. Forgiveness is needed not from people, but for us. Because it frees us from the pain. I promise you it does. It frees you. I'm my characteristic, I am a first responder. I don't like people, I don't like bullies, that's for one. Never did. I had experience at one time growing up, and then that's the start of my fighting. I had to give them the business. But even with things so long ago, I didn't know I was still holding on to it. So it's ironic that I'm watching these people on the sector that I'm at, and then getting insight from the Holy Spirit through the prayer line how I need to forgive myself. Because that was the biggest thing that I was holding on to. I was beaten. We are worst critics. We know when we do wrong. And when we do wrong, even though the people that has forgiven you, you're stuck with the hurt because you wish you have not done it. I wish I could erase every hurt that I caused my friends because they did not deserve it. But we are at a place in our life that we understand where it comes from, even with them. Because I'm not the only one that engage. I'm not. I'm just. I don't join a team by myself. Meaning I'm not a team. Well, I am a team all by myself, but I don't connect with people that I can't. Can't go back and say I didn't like when you do that. I didn't like hearing it, but I had to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So, bringing up past wrongs and arguments that they may resurrect old mistakes during conflicts, using them to gain an advantage or divert attention. This keeps the relationship stuck in a cycle of resentment. So if you like being like that, kudos to you. But I'm trying to teach some real stuff because I'm learning as I'm teaching. So, gossiping about the offender. Remember, I displayed everything, and I'm just reading this just now. Everything that I was doing when I was holding unforgiveness. They may talk about the person who hurt them to others, which can damage relationships and keep the pain alive. That is so true. Blowing up over minor issues. They may react with anger and frustration over small things, especially if the original offender is involved, as a way to feel in control. Yes, I didn't know it was that, but yeah, I used to do that. Insecure attachment and high neurotic, I don't know how to say that. Psychologically insecure attachment styles, actions, or avoidant. A high neurotic, something like that, are linked to reduce empathy and increase rumination, making forgiveness harder. That means rumination of what I'm getting from it. It is hate. It becomes hate. Not caring, not having empathies for anybody. Um, that's what I'm getting from it. 10 is believes that forgiveness equals accusing. They may think forgiving means condoning the wrong, so they refuse to release resentment, even when it no longer serves them. Um, why it matters. Chronic unforgiveness can keep the nervous system in a state of threat, raising stress markers, anxiety, and depression risk, and harm long term health. Recognizing these traits can help individual work toward you know what, TOWARD, emotional regulations, empathy, and a healthier coping strategy, which where I'm at today. I'm able to woosah, think about it, cry a little bit, and be like, God, I can't deal with this. I'm gonna have to give this to you because this right here, I don't even want to think about it. How about that? So I honestly could say that God has been helping me in that area of searching myself before I search somebody else. Instead, the enemy be trying. I already read that, the Bible verses. Okay, there's another one that's called People Who Never Forgive Anyone for Anything Display These 8 behaviors. They keep the crime in their mind and ruminate on it often. That means talk about it, or leave it in their head. People who never forgive hold grudges. They can hold grudges for a long, long time because they care more about the grudge than about healing. In many cases, the target of the grudge isn't going to remember or care about the circumstances that led to it. They may forget altogether, or they may have felt justified in their actions at the time. Yet the person holding on to the grudge thinks about it often, which, according to research, may foster feelings of moral superiority and make it even harder to let go of. Grudges are unfortunate because they are a constant source of anger and unhappiness to which the holder condemns theyself. So I just explained everything without even pre-reading this. I just knew that that's where God was leading me to read. So the second one is to blame others for their problem long after the crime was committed. Instead of accepting responsibility or share responsibility, they blame others for their own emotions and difficulties. They externalize their problems by making it the fault of outside circumstances or other people. They tend to have a victim mentality. They believe themselves to be helpless victims of fate, environment, and other manifestations, or whatever, manifestation, something. That's not always the case. Um, sure, bad things happen because of the outside circumstances, but people who always blame those circumstances are forfeiting their ability to take control. In many cases, we all have a role we play in many of the negative solutions we are exposed to. At the very least, we have a role to play in the way we respond to situations, something that widely been accepted as having huge benefits for our psychological well-being and overall happiness. People who point fingers without any self-reflection tend to be uncompromising in their forgiveness. They fall into the mentality of helplessness in which they convince themselves that they cannot make a difference. Number three, they are passive aggressive. Now, I done heard other content creators that I do support talk about this, and me just reading it out loud to y'all and for myself is giving me a better understanding of what they were saying. Number three, they are passive aggressive. People who are unwilling to forgive often express their resentment through sub sub, sub, subbing indirect behavior or comments instead of addressing their issues directly. Why do they do this? It's a way for a person to hold onto their anger and not forgive because the actual issue is not being addressed. Addressing it directly can lead to a resolution, which would mean the person wouldn't have to have the justification to continue being angry about it. They need that justification to permit themselves to continue to be angry. Uh, Number four, they refuse to reconcile because they don't want to lose leverage. They may refuse to mend the relationship even when the other party attempts to make amends. In that case, the person often just wants the leverage to hold over the other person. Anger is the lifestyle for many. If they make amends and patch it up, the relationship, then they will have no more reason or justification to be angry about a situation. They lose the moral superiority. That's I couldn't even say it, superiority we talked about earlier. They may also avoid reconciliation because they feel it offers them leverage in the relationship. They use earning forgiveness as a way to try to get more out of the person. Number five, they overgeneralize people, which makes them hypercritical. People are complex, and so is their behavior. But realization allows the person slightly to label someone as entirely bad or untrustworthy after a mistake. They make absolute judgment about people. According to the psych central, this type of black and white thinking is common in people who hold grudges. Instead of acknowledge the complex of nature of people and relationships, people who never forgive hold on to the black and white perspective that justify their anger. Once they are slightly slighted by someone, they automatically focus on all the negative of that person and discount the positive. This further fuels their anger and feelings of moral superiority. Also, a result, they may end up criticizing someone more than they normally would because they are so focused on the negative. This is so true. They may cause yet more bad feelings and fights with their other person because no one wants to scrutinize and micromanage at the kind of level. As a result, this person may not have many deep relationships. Creating a deep relationship takes time, time in which one or both parties will make mistake that must be fixed. 6. They seek revenge over resolution. They may escalate conflicts instead of seeking resolution. A person who never forgives is more likely to seek revenge. Looking for a way to get even with the person instead of working on an amicable, something like that, resolution. Hey, Looney. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, yes. You know I plugged in already, Looney. I don't judge. I don't judge. Yes, I'm glad that you got your other page. And I'm talking about unforgiveness. Let me finish this and then I can talk. The issues, of course, is that hostility is often met with other hostility. That creates an unhealthy loop of conflict that will only fuel more anger and animosity. If the person who doesn't want to forgive is constantly taking offense, then they are going to continue to seek revenge. Furthermore, several studies have shown that revenge over forgiveness results in less favorable psychological outcomes for the person slighted. So that's exactly what I'm seeing in the sector that I'm in. Um, just people just holding on to the issues. Of course, is that hostility is often met with other hostility. So one person don't want to just be like I quit, but it's just been a constant thinking. Now it's creating an unhealthy loop and it says loop of conflict that will only fuel more anger. So instead of putting the fire out, it just kept growing and growing. And although one party is no longer with us, they still refuse to let go. Like it's just make it make sense. And it's not me talking bad about them because I used to carry these things. And And it didn't do me no justice. Good morning, Diva. It didn't do me no justice. It made me more bitter, and it was taken away from me all over a offense. An offense. The back and forth. You're offended, but the lady's no longer here, and you still continue. That's some old evil shit. And I am not for that. Um, Number 7, the emotional wall themselves off. Emotional barriers are a way to protect oneself to an extreme. Yes, boundaries are healthy, but a person who closes off too much also significantly hampers their ability to forgive and build good relationship. See, forgiveness, listen, sometimes Sometimes you can forgive a person and you can still break bread with them. But there are other times when a person does a little too much that may cause us to react. That is no, how you say, you can forgive them, but you ain't fucking with them. And what I've learned, that it's okay not to deal. Just get your offense out, make it plain, and be done with it. Give them back to God. Because at the end of the day, they're blocking their blessings for holding grudges or whatever. You're refusing not to hold it anymore. It's done. The offense is done. God does a better job than we can do. When we put our hands on stuff, guess what? Just like the thing, it builds a bigger offense. It makes you more angry. It keeps you stuck in that unforgiveness, and then you'll be sitting down like I have been, crying, not knowing what the fuck I'm crying for, because I was unable to forgive myself for the things that I have done in my past. Um, they have difficulty trusting others. A refusal to forgive erodes trust. That means it just withers away. That makes it difficult to build and maintain healthy relationships. That's like you always see that person as this person and that person, so that would make you not want to trust them or give them a fair chance. You might just be wishing away a good freaking person that can help you. Period, and be there as a friend to to have an adult conversation on the things that they see that you're displaying. And it's not it for me today. If someone said, "Nah, Maritza, you wrong for that," I da 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 da. I stay quiet, not because I got offended, because the person be fucking right. You feel what I'm saying? So a refusal to forgive erodes trust. It just does. Okay, where am I at? The decisions to not trust people, to not allow themselves to be vulnerable, is a statement more about themselves than others. Many people make those decisions based on how they feel toward the rest of the world. They may feel that other people are like them, that they won't forgive and want to hold on to the problems. So they don't extend the trust of others. That in turn becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. So it just keeps going and going and going. And for me, I'm not like everybody else. I give people benefit of the doubt. Even when I hear not so good things about people. Um, and I'm not going to elaborate because then, I got the church people on there and I don't want them to think I'm talking about anyone in the church. But at one point, I wasn't always like that. I used to take things for face value and judge the person based on what my people been through. But if I don't see it, then how am I supposed to feel that way? You know what I'm saying? Like if I haven't had that experience, how should I judge? But I would tread lightly. I would know not to say too much. Keep it bare minimum. And if I fucks with someone that doesn't fuck with the person that I'm messing with, guess what? I'll make it freaking known how super cool we are. So they don't think it's okay to have discussions about my peoples with me. That's just what I don't do. Um, I just don't. If we can have an adult conversation, um, if my friend tells me this is an offense to them, I will encourage them to forgive, but I also will side eye and keep my guards up. Not because I'm expecting, but just to protect my space and my insanity. Hey, Jules is in here. Hey, Jules. Hey, beautiful. I've been catching your replay, sister. Don't think just because I'm not popping out like I used to doesn't mean I'm not in your bushes. But hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, I don't see Jules. Wait a minute. Oh, Jules' name. Take it back. No, for real. Looney. It's like we walk around just harping on the hurt and not really freeing ourselves from it. And sometimes it may cause us to lash on other people and assume like, are you like these motherfuckers? I don't want to live like that. I don't anymore. I give people benefit of the doubt, and all depends on what you display to me that will determine if I'm going to continue any type of relationship. I'll be cordial because that's what God wants me to do. Be cordial, walk in love. But I will never break bread with you. I will never sit in your chat. I won't do none of that. Because once you display that spirit to me, it's like trigger warning. So I bounce because I'm snack crackle pop my damn self. So I'm just trying to stay away from it. Now these are the final thoughts, and this is going to summarize everything that I read. Those who refuse to release grudges or limit it become captives of their own past. Their emotional energy perpetually drained by resentment they've chosen to hold on to. While forgiveness may feel like surrender to these people, it actually represents liberation. The weight of carrying every perceived slightly through life exact and devastating toll on mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. Recognizing these behaviors in others or us, ourselves, or others is the first steps toward breaking free from this self-imposed sentence. After all, forgiveness is not about excusing the offense. It's about reclaiming your own peace from bitterness that will otherwise consume it. So that's all in the freaking nutshell. It doesn't do nothing. When we able like when I say things, I'm speaking about what I used to do. Cause I'm like I said, I ain't no saint. I ain't no freaking saint. I promise you. I used to hold these grudges, and I'm wondering why. I'm walking around with this anxiety feeling, the anger, and seeing people do half the people. It was just all in my own head. But the majority of these motherfuckers that I had interact with in here in a negative light, be done. Ghost with no grudges. I laughed because I couldn't believe how I was doing it. My silence. This is when I was learning about silent kills people's when they're going against you. When you feed them silence, that shit fucking I'm telling you, the spirit on them be going crazy when you can ignore the offense and actually forgive him. Like I didn't want to have a discussion about this, and really, I haven't been tapping into the channels that are showing these characteristics because I'm at the point that it aggravates my spirit because the manner of the heart of man that they're carrying that wickedness, that any means necessary, no pause, no chill button. They just keep going like the energizer bunny. They just keep sometimes I'll be looking at my phone and be plucking it because they don't get it. And then they want to sprue out, oh, because God this, God, well, shit, God, the shit you doing now here, God don't permit, so who the fuck are you? Excuse my language. But it's the truth. Who are you to judge? Who are you to cause? And when we bark back, or you want to get mad because we bark back? No, we bark back because you fucking with us. You just don't have no fucking chill button. No chill button whatsoever. So I say that to say, um, you know, we have to fuck everybody, but we have to for ourselves to identify certain things. And I know the majority of us that is connected to one another. Hey, twin, we trying to display that. Sometimes it's hard to display the God in us because people poke us. And when you don't have enough, it's like you turn out to be the bad guy because you're defending yourself. Because you won't stop. We don't cross our T's and dot our I's, and they just keep going like an energizer bunny. But I promise you, after a while, that silence, that silence is gonna kill the fucking noise around you. I promise you. I have seen this one chick, not on the internet, but in real time, because I have a life. That I have been friends with. Well, I was friends with her. She often said that I ain't her friend. I'm just an acquaintance. She ain't got no friends. But didn't mind to use me for my time and stuff, but I wasn't her friend. But anyway, she had um she had started to display her distance. And I'm big on giving people spaces. But when you show me consistency, I play stupid. I play stupid like a mojo. But I'm woke. That's one thing about me as a gem. We play stupid, but we aware about everything. We too damn nosy not to know. I speak for myself, twin. I'm nosy. And I sense things, my discernment. It tells me, my spirit tells me when something ain't right. So I play stupid. I play along and watch myself because I tend to talk too much. And I'm just being honest with Maritsa. I'm gonna Google prayer. We're gonna because you know what? Unforgiveness, for me, when I realized what it was, where it was coming from, I was like, that's when I looked at myself like, oh shit, what did I do? I To this day I text my friend that has stood the pain. We done fought. I done talked about it. I done told shit that I wasn't supposed to. Vice versa. We done said some wicked shit about one another. But a few years back, my mother was rushed to the hospital. She was having mini strokes. And I'm down here in Charlotte, not knowing what to do. All I did was ask my homegirls to pray for my mom. I didn't know if she was going to come out. I didn't know. I didn't know. I just knew I was stuck in Charlotte with no means of getting to New York. And when I did that, of course, my girls prayed for my mom. And then when my mother was able to talk after her triple bypass, she was like, I love your friends. So I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, I got some nice flowers from such and such. And the girl the sister that I've been fussing with, she said, and Nicole, she came to visit me. You know how bad I felt? It made me really convict myself for the things that I had said to her, and I can't take it back. And I found myself asking her, just saying I'm sorry because I feel like I hurt her the most. My other friends didn't pay me no mind. They thought I was crazy. They saw the abuse that I was under. Not only me being violated, but I was being physically abused by my dad to the age of 14. I mean, like some severe beatings, wire hangers, extension cords. Fuck it, it got to a point if he couldn't get that, the motherfucker was punching me all in my face like I was a nigga in the street. So I still deal with this. And they have shown me, God has shown me. And these last couple of weeks, who was there for me, no matter who falls by the wayside, I know I can always count on them when shit get real for Maritza. Even if they not constantly calling me, I don't care. I know with no shadow of a doubt that they will be there. So this is why it's so important for us to forgive uh, one another and just to press on, even if you don't deal with them no more. Forgiveness has freedom on it. It's freedom in forgiveness. I've been saying it for a while because it's freeing me. It's helping me to move ahead. It's healing me. When I tell you my health was in disarray, when I took this annual physical, I was just sitting there like, wow, no, my sugar levels going low. The only thing that I'm still dealing with is cholesterol. That's the only thing. Everything else is in its rightful place. As far as with my illness, that they still see, it's no change. It's healing. God has healed me. He sustained me for over 30 years to see my kids grow, for my kids to witness the healing on their mother. Because as I was raising them, I was dealing with my unforgiveness. You feel me? So this is why I, I had I had made it my business, just like, you know what? Nobody's really talking about this other than in the same zone. If you're not connected to her or Looney, drop your channels as y'all go. It's okay with me. I like to share channels. And when I get off here, uh, can you comment, Looney? Because it takes too long to go into the subscription. I got so many people that I'm subscribed to. It's not even funny. So that way I can share your page too. It's all about sharing. I ain't here to judge. We all here for reasons. Some of us is an outlet, like me, it's helping me. Some others generated income, and some people use it for to inflict pain. I'm not that chick. I'm here to share part of my testimony when I can, and tell you what I'm learning and what's happening to me since I started initiating steps of forgiveness. I feel whole. I'm able to go to God as is and be like, God, use me. And He's giving me the desires that I didn't think I would have at this stage of my walk. I'm working side by side by the bishop. I have to say to the bishop, no, and this is some real stuff. I said, Bishop, and I gave a look. One thing about me, I am Maritsa. I said to her, I said, you sure you want me to be your nurse? I still smoke weed and cigarettes. That's how bold my ass is. She looked at me. She said, God said yes. You gonna be all right. Just keep coming. That's all she said. Cause she has an eye. She has a spiritual eye. Since it's days like this when I say, who really there with for you? We be in everybody chat for hours, and these people won't listen to the real for 2 minutes. Just remember who's there for you. Always, always. And you know what? I don't get discouraged when I don't see people. I just know I'm on a mission for God. And when God puts it on my spirit to speak about it, somebody gonna listen. Even if it's only one person. Like, for instance, Diva don't be in my chat all the time, but she come through. Hey, because I know she works. She drop or she hit that like, but there's some people that I don't even have to see to know that one of the likes is from him. I just know it. You feel what I'm saying? So it don't bother me anymore. I'm here to promote positivity. You know what I'm saying? And if I stay stuck on that and wondering why people ain't supporting me, then I will never get the full message out. You know what I'm saying? Just know when they talk about your brother, true love, family. Oh, I don't listen to none of that. What I mean, I do listen, but I don't let it penetrate. Because if I don't feel like I don't have that experience with you, I don't care. I got my own damn cross to carry. Shit. If the Lord's come today and tomorrow, Looney, my shit ain't no different from you. Yours is one way and mine is fornicating. What do you think God gonna say? Whose shit is bigger? We the same in His eyes. So I don't. I'm glad that I have this heart. I'm glad I don't judge. I just don't. I just certain things I don't entertain. Now, if somebody keep fucking with my home girl and keep antagonizing them while they trying to be humble and walk in their light. And when they bust, those are the people that I defend because they don't fuck with people. And if they come out here and talk shit, it's because they've been poked too many times. And you know what, Lord, forgive those who talk about us. Shit, fuck it. When you know who you are and whom you belong to, we all make mistakes. We all we all have done some things. Shit, I have. I can tell you some stories. I was a lady. I was a sugar bitch. I was fucking on people like it was like a real task. I was a slut. I was a slut to the age of 23. I could be honest. You know what? When I'm like this, people are like, oh my God, she was a slut. She was a hoe. She got a big stomach, and it never get in the way. I promise you, it never did. It always shine. I promise you that. Guys didn't look at my shape. That cat was back. That cat was. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah, I'm great. I'm real. That's what it is. I'm not coming out here to. Oh man, oh man. No, 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 no. I ain't with that. I'm still with things. I'm still struggling with things. And he's just renewing me. The more I change my mind, the more my action changes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more at home. Not because of anything. I could put money to the side and go do things. But why I got a whole man here? My enjoyment, I love being home. I love being home. If I want to eat something, I do it as a treat, like my man wants to take me out. But I would prefer give me the money. I'll get the eggs, the bacon, the money that you spend at these damn restaurants now. I'll cook that for several days for that price. I'm realistic. But anyway, I'm gonna read a prayer so that I can make sense. Oh Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I'm reading this the prayer, right? I'm reading it. It has all the lies, the and I don't want to read it like that. Okay, it says I'm gonna turn off the cigarette because I feel like I'm being disrespectful. Yes, I smoke. It's fucking hard. It's getting hard out here for a pimp. I tell you what, I don't smoke as many because since well I'm about to finish this pack because I've been talking and drinking coffee. Anyway, um, this is a prayer for protection. Lord, wrap me in your light today. Keep danger far from my path and guard my mind from fear. Let your peace settle in my heart like a calm water after a storm. Guide my step with wisdom and place your angels around me. Protect those I love, whether near or far, and keep us safe in the body, steady in spirit, and strong in faith. Amen. Um, Protect yourself. Let go. We don't have to engage certain, offense all the times. I get it. Sometimes you got to speak your stuff, but it's really not going to do anything when the person's not receptive. So it kind of goes in deaf ears. So, that is pretty much my conclusion um, of my thing, of my thing, of my content today. And I'm trying my best just to get that spirit of trying to, you know, trying to do things different. I'm not trying to be doing anything other than, you know, being a new Maritsa. I want to play the song. So whenever you feel discouraged, this is Jane Hancock and Snoop Dogg. This song, my man introduced me to this, and this shit gets me up dancing. So this is gonna be my conclusion of my live. I ain't getting paid. Looney, question before I play the song. Um, when okay. Okay. I've been on YouTube for about 5 years. I have been having a channel for about 4 years. Do our watch hours start over every year or does it roll over as years go? Because I'm a bit confused. I'm seeing that on my thing, my lifetime um, watch hours is almost at 4,000, but then I'm reading something else. So I don't know if it's that. And if that's the case, I need to catch the fuck up because that's the reason why I'm not monetized. I could have been monetized if I would have been consistent. Every year it goes to zero. That's crazy. That's why my ass ain't monetized. I'm waiting for you, Looney. There are four taxes, but there are four taxes. What do you mean? I need me some bud, I swear. I want to thank me. Yo, Looney, my email is in my bio. Can you just tell me, because I know you're pretty much a little familiar about the watch time hours. I thought that every year that it kind of like is an add-on. I didn't know that they erased the already watch hours. That's crazy. And thank you for the ones that hit the like. I appreciate you. Um, if you're not stuck, that's good. I know there are four, but I don't understand. I can't, man. I'm failing on the watch hours because I don't come on enough, and I just be going. I just been trying to keep busy over here, and honestly, um, a lot of it comes from me watching these demons just being evil. That shit messes with my spirit. That makes me not want to come on. Accumulate your current year, but no hours is still there from the beginning. Damn, that's fucked up. But anyway, I'm gonna play this. Thank you, Looney. It's gonna go to commercial. I don't like commercials. Oh no, it didn't. What? I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna hang up. Thank yourself for this hard work. I wanna thank me, yes me, for believing when nobody else believed. When I didn't have a dime, I always dreamed. Looney, this is my jam right here. I got to thank me. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, it's been a good year. Hey. Hey, hey. Damn, you're the best thing. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Trying to give you all. Yes, me. Believe it. Yes, believe. When I have it done, always. I like to thank me. This is for life. It's gonna be alright, alright. This is the shit, Slowly. still a while. You've been the best friend. Hey, uh. You try to give your all. You gotta thank yourself. Hey, I want to thank me. Yes, me. For believing when that's me. I can't get the words together. Hey, I'd like to thank me. I thank you, me.